When you are consistently selling
Yeah.
and transacting and you're trying to figure out how to scale, this is the time when you start thinking about that. What is it that I need to do? And what is it that I can give someone else to do?
You're listening to Real Estate Coffee Talk. I'm your host, Sarah Hilton, and this is your weekly live coffee date with the who's who from every corner of the real estate industry. We are ready to go. All right. And, oh God, I'm cheating because I've had too much coffee this morning because you're my third interview.
Cheers.
And look, I
Cheers.
just have my water.
No, I look,
Cheers.
I drank
Yeah.
that one of water.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Christmas Baby
Christmas.
Yoda.
Yes.
But I don't
know.
drink alcohol, but coffee is my drink
Coffee
of
is the
choice.
thing. Yes. It just makes you happy.
All day, every day.
It makes me happy. Yeah. We are on the first day of summer break. Well, for my youngest son, who's the most annoying one of the three. And this child woke up at 6 o'clock this morning on first day of summer break. I'm like, you know what?
Well,
over it.
In August, you'll be dragging his butt out of bed. So
exactly. That's exactly what it is.
The pendulum swings one way.
And I thought I had it made because we were at our pool yesterday for like 6 hours. I'm like, oh, he's nice and tired. He's gonna be worn out. I'm gonna have some time to work in the morning. No. Homeboy was up super early. No. But all right. Well, I'm so excited to have you on. Welcome to Real Estate Coffee
I'm so
Talk.
happy. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So, Anne, tell us a little bit about. I've had the pleasure of meeting you in person, which is super fun. But tell us a little bit about you, how long you've been in real estate, and all that jazz.
So, my name's Ann Rudd. I work in the Charlotte, North Carolina, and South Carolina market. I'm with Epic Realty. And I have September, I will be starting my 16th year in real estate. So I've been licensed 15 and a half years, licensed in 5 states. I started in 2008 when the market was crashing, and I worked in the DC market. So I worked Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and I did REOs and short sales. And that was a thing, but I'm a 3rd generation agent. So I've been around real estate my whole life. And not only have I sold everything from commercial to residential to I've sold hotels, I've sold land, I've sold new construction, like everything. I also am a former Tom Ferry coach. So I also coach agents with their business. And so that is something that I do. And besides my company, Real Assist Pros, I'm the CEO of Real Assist Pros. We've been in business about 10 years, and I provide offshore virtual assistants for real estate agents globally. So that's my other side
Girl,
business.
You are just a jack of all trades and a master of all of them. So like that's great.
Experience helps. Experience helps.
Yes. Well, and anyone, listen, big ups to anyone who could be in this industry for 18 years because it is a ride and a half. Like it's so funny. I met someone, my husband saw one of his friends that he used to work in the car business with at the pool yesterday, and this guy goes, he's working full time, and God bless him. I don't want to I didn't want to rain on his parade, but he's just like, yeah, my girlfriend's selling real estate, and I just figure I can make a lot of money real quick after work, and I'm like, yeah, good luck.
If a lot of money after work means a life-sucking vampire, man, you are
right. I was like, sure, it's that easy. Like, go for it. All right.
I swear, this business has changed me so much. I am so unrecognizable, and I mean that in a good way. If you truly try to become a master of your craft in this business, you will learn a lot of skills that not a lot of people have, and it will stretch you. It'll make you a better person, or it can put you in the insane asylum, or make you drink like I did. So I don't drink anymore.
I mean, it's true. And I think when the people that I've met that have been doing it a long time, they're like the cream of the crop. Like you can't just be okay or be doing it for fun and survive that long. And I think also, like, when people talk about, I'm going totally off script here as usual. But when people talk about like the high they call it the high failure rate, and I get it, but I think, I was just talking to a friend about this recently. I think it's also, you get into this and you really have no idea what it is. You think, I remember sitting in real estate school. I just got licensed in like 2018 or so. I remember sitting in real estate school where like the average price point was like 300,000. Like, oh, I only need to sell like 4 houses a month, and I'll be
I'm rolling.
like, it's that easy. Yeah. And I thought also, I've said this before, but I remember I first got licensed, and the girl who I joined her team, I was like, I love people. I can talk to anyone. It's gonna be so fun. She was like, oh, don't worry. You'll hate people. And yeah, so I think there's a part of it that's definitely, it's a high failure rate, but I think it's also a lot of people getting into it, figure like, no, this is not my cup of tea.
You're so right. Like, none of us have the skill. None of us. I don't care what kind of family background you have. I don't care what college you went to. I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't fully recognize what you don't know until you walk into this. And whatever you've done in your past may have helped you, but you don't know enough.
Right.
And I still don't know enough. I mean, I feel like, now I'm digging into like, okay, what am I the crappiest at? And here we got to work on this. So, and just working through that. And I meet such wonderful, wonderful people in this business that have struggled. And it's not their fault. A lot of times it is, but sometimes it's not. And you just, I don't know. For me, I don't believe in luck. I do believe that hard work creates luck. Hard work creates opportunity, and you have to have your eyes open to those opportunities. But
and be willing to do what it takes to grow, or be willing to do, in my case, be willing to do what it takes to be like, you know what? No, that transactional part, not for me at all.
Look, I would love to be out of transactions. You get kind of you get kind of hooked on real estate commissions a little bit, but because what is our average? Like, I live in Union County outside of Charlotte, so our average sales price in the whole county is like $560,000. And there are parts of Charlotte where the average sales price, in certain zip codes is above $1 million. Those are if you have a consistent and you're thriving in your business, that's very good income.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, we could be here all day, but I definitely want to talk about, and of course, I'm sorry. I have children home.
That's okay.
No, go. So I'm already done, and
it's okay. Mine's right over there, taking my CE class. So I probably shouldn't say that.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So tell us, VA, right? Because I'm more on this marketing side, I've seen, I know I'm familiar with the term VA and all that stuff, but I think I meet a lot of agents who don't know what it is and definitely aren't using assistants scale their business. So explain to us a little bit about how the VAs work, your VAs and your company, and how real estate agents can benefit from that.
So real estate agents can greatly benefit from virtual assistants. There is a great deal of leverage that we can do in our business by using other people. Now, traditionally the assistants that we've had have been, in our office, sitting next to us or whatever. But as the world has become more and more virtual, the notion of hiring someone with the skills you need that maybe not quite cost what that person sitting, next to you would, is a very good leveraging tool. Back 8, 9, 10 years ago when I was doing this, I was training everybody I was working with, but now the world has become virtual, even third world countries. And where my virtual assistants come from. And the leveraging factor is massive, even with the cost of bringing on another person or two into your business.
Yeah.
There are some challenges with it, which is something that I see a lot and coach people on. But it, I mean, it's almost an unlimited, um, like scope. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, video editing.
Right.
Anybody, you can hire someone to edit your videos. Once they figure you out,
Right.
they
Yeah.
can do that. Finishing your videos, if you want to edit them and then have them put your things on there. I have a
Oh, yeah.
bookkeeper.
Yeah.
I have a bookkeeper
Right.
that's based in the Philippines that
Right.
has gone through she's gone to college virtually and has an American education in
Yeah.
accounting.
Isn't that crazy?
Um,
Oh my gosh.
there are so many things. Even things from personal assistant stuff. So handling travel arrangements, handling if you need to have your house cleaned, they can do that. There's so much
Scheduler.
scheduling. Like the door has completely opened up. I mean, I've
Mhm.
placed actually virtual assistants in medical offices that have accreditation. They're accredited with American um, electronic medical records.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you name it, they can do it.
And it's such a tool like that allows you to do the part of real estate A that you love or that you enjoy that you're good at, and B grow much faster than you would trying to spin your reels and do everything at once.
That's right.
Like just the simple I remember when I hired my first transaction manager, I was like, "Oh my
What?
god." Yes, because I hate the paperwork.
Mhm.
My brain is super ADD. So like, ooh, I'll meet people all day long. Ooh, we'll get you under contract. But not only did I not have to do the things that I hated, but I was like, what, $350, $400 a file for someone to make sure it's all done and to have a second set of eyes. And so you can just focus on whatever part of real estate that you love.
Mhm.
And I talk about marketing all the time. And I think people get overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I have to, they'll see what goes into a YouTube video, for example. And they're like, oh, I need a, what's that? The tile for my
The
brain.
thumbnail.
Yeah,
Thumbnail.
your thumbnail.
Yep.
Oh God, I gotta add captions. Oh my God, how do I make the map and this
Yeah,
pop up? And I'm like,
and close that, how do I make it so that the words come at the bottom, and yeah. Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
Like all this stuff is actually pretty easily done by people who are really good at what they do.
Well, and I
So,
think that's really where the beginning of the problems start with
right.
people in the real estate business. I can do it all.
Yeah.
I always, all right, I'm going to show my age here. Have you ever played, Sarah, Trivial Pursuit?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
any of us that have the
Yeah.
playing piece is a circle with all these different colored pie pieces. Okay. They're all pie shaped to make that circle up. And every
Yeah.
time you answer a question in a certain, category, you get a pie piece. So if you think about a real estate agent as that playing piece with all those different pie pieces,
Yeah.
one of those pie pieces is what you're really good at.
Right. Yes. That's
Or
so
what you
true.
like to do, and
Right.
and one of those, you may not like to do something that you really need to do
Right.
in your business. However, the rest of those generally can be farmed out. And that is kind of what started me in my business, was looking at what I was really good at and what I was just so horrible at. And Sarah, I think you and I have a very similar personality profile.
Yeah.
Paperwork, forget it.
Yeah.
Paperwork stresses me out. It gives me anxiety. I need like
Yeah.
medication for it.
Yeah.
Now, I could have a really good
Yeah.
phone call with
Yeah.
a fence post,
Yeah. Exactly.
right?
Right. Any day of the week. Yeah.
Every day. As you can
Yeah.
tell here on
Yeah.
this, you and I can talk for days.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so that's really the issue here, is for agents to identify, what are my primary money making activities? What are the
Right.
things that I cannot farm out?
Right.
Like, I need me for
I need
X.
me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't need me
Yeah.
for contract compliance. I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't need me to edit videos. Trust me, I don't need me.
And
Um,
and a lot of times I think it's changing the mindset. Like people, I'm sure you've come up against the thing of, well, spending whatever, $400 a month on video editing. Oh, that's a lot of money. But you think about, okay, if I sit there with the video, is it going to take me, like how much is my time worth? If I want to make, for example, only because my math sucks, if I want to make $100 an hour, right? Is it going to take me more than an hour to do this video? Probably, right? Like, why not give it to someone? Because you can make more per hour when you have people
right.
doing stuff for you,
That's right.
right? Yeah.
And look, this is how you figure it out. So if you are a full-time agent and you are juggling, you're struggling because you're always drinking from the fire hose, and you know and you're still on a roller coaster of income because you have to stop doing those money making activities to do that other $10 an hour garbage or
Right.
$12 an hour garbage,
Right.
and then you have to start up the money making activities again, and then you go under contract with a bunch, and then you got to stop again. It's like that hamster wheel. Okay,
Right.
so
Yeah.
what I tell agents that are making a full-time living
Yeah.
or trying to,
Yeah.
take a look at, like, try to figure out how much you're worth per hour. Okay. And don't tell me it's $2. I know we all think we're worth $2 an hour, but like, don't give me a 40-hour work week and,
Yeah.
and how much money you made, and do
Yeah.
the number per hour. Like, if it, I know several agents that are like, shoes, I'm $400 an hour.
Yeah.
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 Well, then why are you doing this $10, $12, 15-hour garbage work?
Exactly. Right. Right.
And if you can figure that out and really have a come to Jesus meeting with yourself about how much you're actually worth per hour, if you are doing your money making activities,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes a little bit easier of a conversation with yourself about, okay, what is it that I need to do? And what is it that I can give someone else to do?
Yeah.
And then you can either take that time that's left and the stress and everything else, and you can increase your money making activity numbers,
Mhm.
or you can actually do what many of us need to do, which is do more money making activities, but take some of that time and spend it with your family.
Right. Right.
And,
'Cause that's also enriching your life in a different way, like if you're gonna miss out on, your daughter's, band player, I know, in the
mhm,
band. If
yeah,
you're gonna which you never would, but you don't wanna, like, miss parts of your daughter's performance or these trips because
uh,
you're over here, like you said, doing your contract compliance.
no,
There's
I
a
mean,
way. Yeah.
my daughter's at the University of South Carolina. I do not
Yeah.
miss a football game. I
Yeah.
don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we've got, so that's an every Saturday commitment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then this year we've got Macy's Day Parade at Thanksgiving. I'm not
Yeah.
working Thanksgiving week. I'm gonna be in New York.
Right.
And so these are the things that, like, she's my only child. I'm
Yeah.
not married.
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of those, like, crazy band parent mom people. But
Oh,
this is it. She's a senior this year. This is
yes.
it.
Yes.
And I want those Saturdays and those away games. I'm going to. They're playing in Oklahoma. I'm going to
Right.
Oklahoma. I'm going to Norman this year. So,
Yes. I love that.
but
Yes. And what else is a business, like, I guess, what is the point of a business if it doesn't give you the personal life that you want? For that, you could just work a 9 to 5, right? So what's the point of all this hustle and bustle and all this crazy stuff we do if not to afford you those opportunities with your daughter,
so that's right. And
Yeah.
look, I have told everyone, I've coached this. The moment you get your real estate license, you become the CEO of your own business, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at some point, it is time to start acting like that. And when we were talking in the beginning about us not having the skills that we need, managing people is one of them.
Yeah.
We, as an industry, are horrific Now we can manage our clients. Well, some of us can, some of us can't. But but
Yeah.
managing an assistant or managing a team of assistants is not easy. And
Yeah.
this is a place where this deciding, oh my gosh, I'm drinking from a fire hose. I need some help.
Yeah.
What do I do? You've got to have a hard look at yourself and figure out, hey, look, I may not be really good at this. I might not be really good at opening up
Yeah.
to people that I don't see face to, like next to me.
Right.
But that to me, I find is the hardest part of hiring someone else to be in your business.
Right.
Trust and allowing them the opportunity to understand your business and to understand your life.
Yeah, like delegating. When I first got my VA, who's excellent, she's better at life than I am with
Mine
like
is all
yes,
of mine have been.
she's
Mhm.
so on top of stuff. My problem was just like delegating stuff to her, because I was like, I do. I feel like I need to be in on everything. And I'm like, I'm killing myself for not enough money because I'm not just giving her the stuff that can be given to her.
True.
So when you do agents, like, what do you think is the stage in their business where they should start thinking about, I want to outsource this? Like, is there a line, or is it just them sitting down and looking at what needs to get done?
I do not recommend, and this is when people start calling me. I'm
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The problem with the point at which you cannot handle one more thing and you think you are going to need to have a straitjacket
Yeah.
is a little late.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you are ramping up your business and you're doing 2-3 transactions a month, 24 transactions a year
Yeah.
in the real estate business is rare air. There are between 50 and 60,000 real estate agents a year that do more than 24 transactions a year. So that's rare air. So I think that if you're getting to consistently, you're doing 2 transactions a year and you're trying to figure out how to go from 2 to 4 or 2 to 6, this is where you really need to start looking at adding someone. And it is much more cost effective to bring in someone full time than to
Mhm.
actually hire a transaction coordinator at some outside company or maybe somebody that's sitting at your firm at the cost of $450 or $500 a transaction. It is way like you can almost pay for a full-time VA.
Right.
And I'm not talking about one of those $2 an hour VAs because you get what you pay for.
Right. Right.
But when you are consistently selling
Yeah.
and transacting and you're trying to figure out how to scale, this is the time when you start thinking about that. And I deal with that a lot when I was coaching agents because, hey, look, you're doing 3 transactions, you're selling 36 houses this year and you're really busy. And I think it's time to start looking at someone who can take some of these tasks, these things that don't have to be done by you. And
Right.
that's really what it comes down to.
Off your plate. And usually, like, have you seen, once people have implemented that, have you seen them within a few months almost immediately able to either scale their business or get some of that personal time they wanted back? Yeah.
Yes, but there has to be a plan. It's not just like, "Oh, today I'm gonna hire a VA," and, because
And then
I don't do any marketing with my business. I
right.
only work by word of mouth. 2 reasons. Number 1, I wanna keep it manageable so I know who I'm working with.
Right.
Because I do kinda coach them into working with a VA,
Right.
but I wanna make sure that my VA is set up for success as well. I don't
Mhm.
want somebody that comes in and 3 months later, they're like, "Oh, this is too hard."
Yeah.
I I don't want that. It doesn't help my VAs. So, for us as agents, like, I mean, bare minimum, you got to know all the passwords to your crap. And I say that, and
No, I know because I take over people's social medias all the time, agents. And I'll be like, I just had a lady last week. God bless her. I love her. She's so nice. But
do you have her passwords yet?
we just got them 2.5
Mhm,
weeks after she
mhm,
had to have her husband help her. She
mhm.
couldn't figure out, she didn't know what her password was. She didn't know what email address was connected to that. And I was like, oh man, girl, I can't even try to reset your Facebook password because Meta is crazy,
Yeah, yeah.
But I learned even from, I've only had one VA, but um I was given I would say I was given all the paperwork and tools, but again, paperwork. So I'm one of these like, let me just do it. And they were like, try to have some standard operating things you got. And this poor VA came in and I was like, it almost became stressful for me because I didn't know what to give her at first.
It's extremely stressful. And
Right.
I can lose clients if I don't handle that correctly. I lose clients. And early on
Yeah.
I did. Now I don't, because I kind of prep them and I'll walk them through it. But
Right.
and look, I will tell you, I inherently, that is not my, just like built in underneath my skin skill set. Like, I
Right.
don't, thank goodness for like Chrome that keeps all my passwords,
I know.
because and LastPass,
Mhm.
a lot of people say,
Yeah.
oh, use LastPass. I've been locked out of LastPass. I
Girl,
can't
me too.
remember the password for LastPass.
Listen,
So
I keep them in like my phone notes because I'm like, I can't. I forgot my last password too. So yeah, I get
so,
it.
a simple, I know, Google Doc
Yeah.
spreadsheet. I know your eyes are crossing and rolling
Okay.
back in your head, but it's such, and look, start with the basics.
Right.
How many email accounts do you have?
Yeah.
No, we got more than one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How many, how about your MLS? Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's go to your socials. Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's look at, like Supra or Central Lock, and then, your showing time. And, you just kind of have to take it in small bites.
Right.
I have found that the best real estate agent, like really good single agents that
Yeah.
are selling 30 houses a year, are paddling like hell underneath the water. And it's a really, really hard thing to see,
Yeah.
because they've kind of done it to themselves. So for
Yeah.
me, the first thing is let's just kind of tone down the volume a little bit. Let's get this little thing in place. I know that unless they have a team, and
Yeah.
even sometimes if they do, there are no standard operating procedures. There's
Yes.
no training manuals.
Yeah.
There's no, I do this when this goes under contract. I do this when I list a house. Nothing. There's not going to be any of that.
Yeah.
So
That's a
that
huge thing. Like when
it's
it
really
it
hard to
helped
navigate.
me just from like, for example, for this podcast show thing. I was just winging it every week, whatever. And so I told the girls like I have looked for the project management system that works for my brain. It doesn't exist. I've tried all of them. I spaz out on all of them. So literally I wrote down like in a Google Doc, I email this person. And then after that, I do this and just listed out, 1 through 15. She set it up on a project management system, whatever. So you don't necessarily have to deliver something pretty as far as
Mm-mm.
whatever. Mine helped me set up standard operating procedure. But I mean, yeah, you got to take some time and say, after I get a buyer, this is what I do.
This is
Just
what
go
I
out.
do. This is
Yeah.
what we have to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because most
And
agents, I think, have our type of brain where we're a little bit, the agents I've met, they're all over the place type people. I
well,
mean,
I think that agents that are, and I'm sure you've dealt with personality profiles. So like the
yeah.
high D, high I's. So
Yeah.
driver people that can talk to a
Yeah.
fence post.
Yeah.
We're the type of people that can have very big businesses. we're
Right.
also incredibly inconsistent. And so having people to support us and prop us up
Yeah.
allows us more consistency without actually us having to go to a lot of therapy. And even though I think we need a lot of therapy, but anyway,
Everyone needs a little therapy.
because we're the ones like, I 1 year I sold 113 houses by myself. And that, I mean, it's a lot of houses.
Yeah.
And, and I'm really good at juggling.
Yeah.
Those people like that are, they have to have support. It's
Right.
not the high S, high
Yeah.
C folks that, everything's in a box and we have to know how to do everything exactly perfect before we do
Yeah.
anything. And, because they have their standard operating procedures. Now
Yeah.
they typically, and look, I'm not here to bash people,
No, yeah.
they're generally going to be more methodical at what they're doing
Right.
and typically do not drink from a fire hose like the driver
Yeah.
personality, because they tend to not multitask very well. And
Yeah.
so for anybody that feels like they've got the capacity to do 2, 4, 6, 10 houses a month in transactions, you're gonna need help. You cannot do it alone. And if you're doing 2 now and want to get to 4 or 5, what got you to 2 is not gonna get you to 5.
Yeah. Yep. That's so good. That is so good. It's so true. Because I've seen agents, or I've talked to agents that have been doing this years and years, and it's crazy to me that they're still like, oh my God, I don't know where my next lead is coming from. But yeah, when I see it, it's like they're doing everything. And this is without making a big blanket statement. I've noticed a lot of the realtors I bumped into, they're a little bit short-sighted as far as what they want to invest in. They never want to they don't want to spend money on stuff. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. But you'll just make so much more when you have help. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like anything.
Well, it's, and look, I coaching for as long as I did, we did business planning
Yeah.
and in the fall every year. And I'll do a business planning class in October. And, I talk about, lead pillars, like where is your business coming from? And most people are like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And if you can build something, you can build a business with lead generation and video work and all the things that you're doing, you know, then the progression is, okay, well, you've got, you work on your business and you work in your business. And they're the having an assistant or two, or, I think at one point I had like 9. It's important to be able to hire people that can take those pieces that you
Yeah.
don't need to manage every day. You trust me, you do not need your fingers in everything.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. No
Well,
one
matter
needs
of
to be
fact,
on
your
like,
business will go better if you
yeah.
stay the hell out of it.
Yeah. Right. And you just focus it just allows you to focus on there's no reason a realtor with a good, like you said, consistent business needs to be up in, their video editor, placing text and stuff like that. It's just not a
No,
good use of your
and
time.
frankly, when I had video editors, I'm like, look,
Yeah.
I do not want misspellings.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'd have my executive admin go through that. So I had
Right.
like layers, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
had an executive admin, and I never hire people that aren't native English
Yeah.
speakers. Like
Yeah.
that to me is that's my hot button. But
Right.
so no misspellings,
Yeah.
and I better not see one. So you
Right.
better check it out.
Yeah.
And but other than that, like, unless you're showing my backside, which everybody knows not to do,
Yeah.
um, you know,
Yeah.
this is your
Yeah.
job. This
Go
is
for
your
it. Yes.
specialty. What?
Yeah.
Why do you need me? You
Yeah.
don't need me. Trust me. You don't want me.
Yeah. And it works better that way when you can. I mean, that's what it is. It's just delegating and trusting the person with the process.
Mhm.
So, okay. So how, like, do you see, like, the real estate industry is obviously going through a little bit of change, and, you know, how do you see VAs kind of fitting into the future of what real estate is going to be, real estate agents are going to be over the next few years?
It's funny. I see ebbs and flows with virtual assistants. I don't hear a lot about VAs right now, but I know that there are a lot of VAs working in businesses all over the world and all
Right.
sorts of things. So, I would love to see, and look, again, there are people that wear the red badge of, I do everything myself because I want to stay in control. Okay, you go, you be you.
Go for it.
But if you look, we are in a business of commission compression. Okay.
Right.
Our
Right.
commissions, and I don't know what August is going to do. I can't, frankly, I don't think a lot's going to be different, but
Yeah.
there's going to be some things changing. And, commission compression is occurring. You're going to have to be able to get by on less, or you're going to have to be able to scale at a large level. And it's going to be one of the two.
Right. Oh, you said it. You captured it so perfectly right there. I love it. Yeah.
You either, go buy an Airstream and live in it.
Yeah. That sounds like beautiful right now.
Actually, let me tell you, Sarah, if you buy one, I'll buy one.
Yes, exactly. It sounds so nice,
I'm
actually.
telling you, like, that is if I disappear,
that's where, we're going to find you in an Airstream. I love that.
Trust me,
Yeah.
I have been to the Airstream dealership in Greenville.
Oh, yeah. Girl, I'm going to meet you
I have
out there.
taken the step. Okay?
It sounds beautiful.
Look, we as business people, and I use that term loosely, have done such a poor job of communicating to people what we do for a living, first of all, which got us in the position we're in right now, but also we do such a poor job of delegation. And we do such a poor job of business building that, sure, we got a 13% success rate in this industry. And it stinks that real estate schools don't talk to people about that. And there is quite a bit of letdown. Like, holy crap, I'm not going to be able to sell 4 houses a year as a new month as a new houses a year as a new agent.
Yes. You literally come out of real estate school not knowing anything.
So quit watching HGTV and Bravo, and you're doing better.
Yeah.
But scaling is going to be such an important thing. Frankly, I think we're going to get to a fairly large segment in our business relatively quickly of people listing homes for 1% to 2% or less.
Yeah.
Okay. And leveraging that on the buy side.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if you're, but if you're listing houses at 1% to 2% or less, you've got to have,
sorry,
bless you.
Sorry. They always come in threes.
You're going to have a lot of listings. You're going to have to figure that one out. What are you going to do? Or you're going to become, the mayor of social media in your area, or you're going to put out I am a huge subscriber to Gary Vaynerchuk. And he's like, look, if you don't have any business, why are you not putting out 100 pieces of content a day? Like, what else have you got to do to lose?
Yeah. And it seems so, speaking from experience, like, yes, I'm a people person or whatever, but getting over the hump of just posting your videos, being out there all the time, it's crazy because it really is just that. It's a hump, and I know because for so long, I thought about it, I bookmark videos. I say it all the time, but I was always just getting ready to get ready. But really, if your business is slow or you have some time, it's free. Just constantly
and evergreen.
Yes, and evergreen. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So that's an easy way to just scale your marketing up and your lead gen. for no money. It costs nothing but your I don't
But
know.
let's talk about people that have sophisticated businesses. Okay.
Yeah.
There's an agent in Raleigh that has a team that will do over $1 billion in real estate this year because he researches homes that have large pieces of property attached, whether it's, a house on an acre or a house on 3/4 of an acre. That's like almost like in some of the older sections of Raleigh and surrounding areas where they can buy the house, split it into 2, 3, 4 lots,
Yeah.
fix up the house, resell it, and then build 4 homes. But you don't like. I know who is doing his research. He teaches his assistants to do that. I know agents that are looking for, like combing the area for off market properties. Absentee owners. Okay, there's gobs of them around here. Pre-foreclosures and whatever anybody thinks about pre-foreclosures, we've got a lot of people with a lot of equity, right? Yeah. But we are seeing some pre-foreclosure, paperwork right now that I think is a little bit eye-opening. We need to pay attention to it.
Yeah. The taxes have affected my mortgage payment went up like $300 because of the tax adjustment. I was
well, you're lucky because some of them have gone up a lot more than that.
I'm sure. Well, we only got into this one a couple of years ago, so yeah. But I was like,
yeah. So this is an agent. I know several agents that do this, and they are looking for off-market properties to either sell to investors, buy and use them as investment properties, or find listings. But they can't do it all.
Yeah.
And then I know agents that are highly leveraging Google. I know agents that are still highly leveraging online leads. But not all of us can be in those. But what if somebody's doing all of that? You can't do it all yourself.
Yes. And even if you're good at it, it takes a lot of time. Or sometimes you have the time and you're not good at it. So instead of reinventing the wheel, I know paid ads, Google, Facebook ads, those take quite a bit. I've run them before. They take quite a bit of skill and know-how. There's no reason for you to just start and learn it when you could pass it off to someone who really knows what they're doing.
Correct. And that's really good at it. Now, there was one place that I do not recommend a virtual assistant. And this is the one place where people call me the most. Cold calling. Outbound for sale by owners, expireds. For sale by owners, maybe expireds hardly ever. And I will tell you this, if you're not willing to call expireds and for sale by owners, don't force somebody else to do it. Yeah. My virtual assistants all come from the Philippines. Okay. Yeah. It is a third world country. And their real estate businesses are different from ours. The way that you talk about real estate is different in the Philippines than here. Right. And you need somebody on the phones that, frankly, pretty quick. Yeah. And I don't find many high I's that have that kind of quickness that you need to be on the phone talking to expireds. And I coach a team here at Epic that they've got a $4 million listing. I think they have a closing today for $1 million purchase, good business folks. Right. And they had gotten away from their calls. Yeah. And within 2 weeks, I call them every day at 8:45, make sure they're on their calls. And within 2 weeks, they had signed 4 listing agreements. That is not something they can farm out. Right. They just got away. They wanted to do other things. They were trying to expand their team. And what happened is they were expanding their team and contracting their business all in the same, stroke of the pen. Right. And we had to go back to their primary money making activities, the things that they're super good at.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I like what you said earlier. Sometimes it is the stuff you don't like when we talked about the Trivial Pursuit thing. Sometimes it is like it's just being a smart business person, figuring out what are the things that you're good at and want to do. But there are some things that you're, you know, don't want to do, but you have to do to get, and you have to do it yourself to get the business moving. Because just in my marketing business recently, I noticed I maybe lost my way doing all the fun stuff. And I'm like,
We do
whoa, whoa,
that.
whoa, whoa.
We do
I am
that.
killing myself for not enough money here. And I'm like, I need to go back, do all the stuff that I don't really want to do, but I have to do.
Yeah,
And
but
then getting your VA on board with that. Yeah.
you can't, not yet anyway, clone
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And
So I got to figure out a way to.
you got to figure a way to leverage the things that you don't have to do
Exactly. Yeah.
so that you can have your finger on the pulse of the things that you must do to keep your business moving forward.
Yes. Yes.
And
That's
and
so
and I do think that hiring an employee, it really is it is a test. It's going to
yeah.
be a test for anybody that's thinking about it, whether they're here in whatever state you're in or town
Right.
or offshore. It is going to be a test of your ability to shift when things get hard, because it's going to be hard for a while. It's
Yeah.
going to be. You don't, it's like, oh, no, 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 I'll do this. No, give it up. Give
Yeah.
that up.
Yes.
And you have to trust. And yes, there's going to be some stuff screwed up. I'm sorry. That's just going
Yeah.
to happen.
Right.
So that's
Just growing
really,
pains.
it is, but
Yeah.
it stretches you as a human.
Yeah. Right. And you'll
And
never look back. Like, do you find that the people that you work with that have done it right, with the coaching, that they're like, oh my God, I'll never go back now.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, and
Yeah.
I've got VAs that have worked for the same people for 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah. See.
So we have, and look, the best ISA, inside sales associate, I have
Yeah.
ever worked with works for me. She
Yeah.
is never going
Yeah.
anywhere. And I'm not going to let her go because I don't want her working for anybody else. And
Right.
she's that good.
Wow. Yeah.
But, you know, I don't think that we as agents think about, we think about, oh man, this is going to be hard. I don't want to give this up. I don't look at if this works for you. If you
Yeah.
find the right person, and you may have to go through some rounds of interviews. You may have to hire and fire a couple of people. I've
Right.
gotten really good at firing people. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I have, but if you get through it and you find that right fit, think about what your business will look like in 6 months or a
Yeah.
year out, because you've been able to offload those things that cause anxiety. What's the phrase right now that's living rent free in your head?
Yeah. Yeah.
All of that stuff that you don't, we only have so much brain capacity, and the things that we do not need to be focusing on have no business being here,
Yeah.
because the more capacity we have for our clients, that's our highest and best use.
Yes.
Taking care of our people, right?
Yeah. Yep. I love that. And I definitely, I wish we would have said that earlier, but definitely kind of carry on to that as that virtual assistant. It doesn't just mean just an admin, typing away, doing admin tasks. Like you can have high level staff, you mentioned executive assistant, inside sales agents. Like these are not just your average type up an email for you type
No,
people,
no, no, no,
which
no,
those are
no.
helpful at one level,
Mhm.
but yeah, all the way up.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
you can, you can hire I say just
Yeah.
about. I'm having a hard time finding a French speaking Filipino.
Yeah.
So there are some things that we have some holes still, and I only hire people from the Philippines because I find there's a lot of them that are native English speakers and their
Yeah.
accents are not
Yeah.
rough.
Right.
Unfortunately, there are some parts of the country where world where accents are just hard,
Yeah.
and unless I'm on the phone, if you're not on the phone, it's one thing. But
Yeah.
we can't have an issue with
get it language. Yeah,
that's right. So, but I think that having VAs has really transformed a lot of people. It's transformed a lot of businesses. But it is important to not. It's like anything else, you know. You hire a marketing manager, and you expect to start having transactions tomorrow. No, it's going to take you a little while. You got to
Thank
ramp,
you.
right?
Say it a little louder, Ann.
But in 6 months,
Yeah.
it's going to stretch you. You're gonna have to rework pieces of your business, but it is going to allow you time for things that you need more time for. And in this business of commission compression, if you're going to have to spend a little money to make money, that's the way it is in being self-employed and being a business owner.
Yeah.
But there are we just flush our money down the toilet in so many ways. Instead of just hiring an expert at video editing, an expert at tracking people down that are absentee owners.
Yeah.
There's so much of that. People that are experts at CRMs. Why would you need to be a CRM expert when you can hire somebody for $10 an hour to nurture your CRM? To say, all right, Sarah, on Monday morning, I need you to film a video every week. And I'm going to tell you on Friday what you're going to film. And then you're going to film it and just send it to me. And I'm going to send it to the whole database every week. And we're going to nurture our database this week. And we're going to build a marketing campaign every week off of that video. And it needs to be at least 7 minutes long.
Yeah. And it's a team. If you look at it like a team effort, I have clients on the marketing side that they're like, oh, it just feels so good. Like they just get someone under contract or they get a new listing. All they do is email me and maybe their transaction person or whatever. And they're like, here, 123 Main Street, just on the listing. Here's the information. You upload in MLS. Sarah, you run with it.
Yeah.
And that's it. They don't have to. Yeah. And then it becomes like, whoa, that's easy money. It's easy money to spend when you see what it's getting you.
And you provide a higher level of service.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
you take care, you have better reviews. You have people that come back to you because you're not a hot mess.
Yes. And because they're getting the experience a lot of times when they have an assistant helping them and they see good marketing, whatever, they're getting a better experience on their side from all ways. Okay. So where will Ann be in 10 years?
Hopefully not working.
Yes, chilling.
I have no idea. I really don't. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I knew that. I kind
of like it. I kind of like the world is your oyster right now.
It is. I have a child graduating from college next year. I suspect will be going to law school or something. So, I'll need to work for a little bit more. But I don't think I'll ever leave the real estate business. I probably will be back in coaching full time. I thoroughly enjoy working with real estate agents and helping them build their business. It is one of the things that I have been so fortunate in my life to work with people, and I have sought them out. But some have landed on my doorstep for a myriad of reasons, and I have been fortunate.
Yeah.
Not everyone has that good fortune, and if I can figure out how to touch agents in a way that helps them in their business, helps them build something and then thrive in it, that kind of is where I would like to be. And then I could be living in an Airstream for at least a little while to, chase a 70-degree day every day.
Knock on your door.
5 days.
Yeah. I love that. Oh my gosh. And I will say, like, definitely, but it's what you said, you built your luck. You know what I mean? So luck comes when you've already built all the stuff. And then
I think it comes from hard work and just, opportunity. Look, there are always opportunities. I looked at a storefront on Friday.
Yeah.
It's a commercial storefront. It's been a real estate office.
Yeah.
It's in a very, very visible place. If I told you, Sarah, you'd know exactly where it's at.
Yeah.
And I spent all weekend working through whether it was the right opportunity. I decided it wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was hard to say no to it. But I don't think I have the right partners in place for it. So, you know, and I don't want to. I'm too old to want to carry all that anymore. So
Oh, I know.
that's really where I am.
Yeah.
And I think that for all of us, we have to decide, you know, we always have to kind of future cast ourselves. You know, where do I want to be in a year? Where do I want to be physically, emotionally, relationally,
right,
business wise? Where do I want to be in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah.
You know, and if you're 85 and still doing open houses and you want to be, that's great.
Yes.
Where it's a problem is when you're 85 and you don't want to be doing it and you have to do it. And that's not for me.
I don't want to be my age doing open. It's like, but yeah, it's true. Like if you love it, great. I think I'll be one of those like old people that'll just be like working some like Disney World or something because I love it and I spaz out being home. But yeah, like having to work at a supermarket bagging grocery or wanting to are two different things.
If you go work at Disney World, I'll come find you. But
yes.
you know me, I have horses and that's where my love is. And I don't mind hard work. I don't mind physical work, but I do mind doing things that I dislike. And I find fulfillment in helping others and in help propping them up. And that's just something that my mother says to me, "Oh, I told you you'd be a teacher one day." Yeah, well, thanks, Mom.
You're just doing it in a roundabout way.
Yeah, kind of in a different way. But
yeah,
you know, there's so many people in our industry that they've not met a Tom Ferry in their life. Right. They've not met great coaches. They've not met great mentors. And I've been fortunate. So that's really where my life is. And but you know, for folks that are trying to build their business, you know, I think that the virtual assistant way is it's not quite plug and play. But if you hire the right skill set, it could be.
I would think absolutely. If you do the work, it's a game changer for your business.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It is. You get the right person and you don't freak out about it. And you work on yourself because you're going to have to, and you communicate with them. And that's one thing. I talk to my VAs every morning. And I've done it for almost 10 years. And some days I don't want to talk to anybody, but I do, because that's just how I operate. And it has allowed me to build relationships with folks that, I mean, I don't want to lose and I actually had my ISA moved to Baltimore. She immigrated and now is in Baltimore. And I'm like, look, this is like my sister now.
Yeah, exactly.
8 hours away and I can go see her now. And it's just, I don't know. It's just like expanded my life and my world. And it's something that can happen to all of us.
I love that. I love it. All right. So if I know we can find you on Instagram at real Ann without the E, Rudd, RUDD. My middle name is Ann, but I have the E.
my middle name is Ann too.
No. At first I was like, wait, Ann, but now I see you have a different first name.
There are 4 of us. We all go by our middle names.
How funny is that? I love that. That's a big thing in Puerto Rican culture too. Like my stepmom's brothers.
Well, clearly I am not Puerto Rican. Oh
my gosh, I love you. And okay.
But, I don't know what my parents were doing, but I had a homeroom teacher in school that I had her she was a homeroom teacher in 12th grade and she was biology in 9th. She called me, I'm Elizabeth Ann. So she called me Liz, Beth Ann, Bethy, any and all. Beth, Elizabeth, whatever. And on graduation night, she called me Ann and she was like, oh, no, name was Ann, but I was testing you for 4 years.
Yeah.
You did.
Make your life exciting. Oh my gosh.
Real Ann Rudd.
Real Ann Rudd.
Honestly,
And then
the best way to get me is to text me. It's 704-617-0847.
Perfect. There you go. And I'll put it in the show notes and everything.
That's fine. I don't do a lot of marketing because I keep my business at a manageable level so that I can reach out to my customers and work with my VAs. And I don't want like rooms of training and things like that. I just don't want it. But I have really good VAs and I have access to a lot of other ones. And you know, if you want to build your business or you want to scale it and you think that, you know, having an assistant or having someone in your business is going to help you, not only will I help you find that right person, but I help you integrate them into the business. So it's not just, you know, well, here's your person. Good luck.
For success. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I love it. Obviously, Anne's on top of her game with a bunch of other stuff. So give her a text. And you're also at Epic Realty. So if realtors want to join, if you're looking,
I'm an area leader at Epic in Charlotte. So if you're a Charlotte,
I'm glad you called it Epic
coach.
because all these years I've been reading. Oh, well, not all these years, but seeing it lately, I've been reading it as EPIC. So I'm glad you called it Epic Realty.
Epic was taken the traditional. So anyway, but it's Epic Realty, and our firm's growing quite a lot. I was agent number 250 in the firm, and I think we're at 25+100 now, and we're growing quite a bit. But
love that. Yep.
I enjoy every minute of it. So
yes, love it. All right, so we'll put that link in there too. And Anne, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have
so
the
much.
best time living it up for your daughter's senior year.
Go Gamecocks, right? There we go.
Love it. All right, girl. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks so much, Sarah.
See you soon. Bye. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Real Estate Coffee Talk. If you enjoyed it, please take a moment to subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps. If you'd like to be featured on the show, you can get that information right in the show notes. Be sure to tune in next week for another new episode. And until then, keep your dreams big and your mugs full. See you next week.